Thank you. Welcome back. Republican presidential nominee Mitt Romney touching on many themes during his acceptance speech at the RNC Thursday night, including a pledge to keep our nation's military strong.
Everywhere I go in America, there are monuments that list those who have given their lives for America. There's no mention of their race, their party affiliation, or what they did for a living. That America, that united America, will preserve a military that's so strong no nation would ever dare to test it.
Joining us now with his reaction, CEO of Concerned Veterans for America, Pete Hegseth. Good morning to you, sir.
Morning, Dave. Thanks for having me.
I know you spent some time at the RNC this past week. I'm curious your thoughts on what Mitt Romney said about the military, about our national defense, and also what he didn't say. Of course, not mentioning Afghanistan. He's the first Republican nominee in 60 years not to mention war. What do you make of all of this?
Sure. I mean, obviously, as someone who recently returned from Afghanistan, I wish he would have mentioned the fact that we've got almost 80,000 troops in harm's way there. But I don't think it undercuts the general theme of what he's talking about. He wrote a book in 2010 called No Apologies, The Case for American Greatness. And I think that was the theme of what he was talking about. Renewed American leadership in the world and unapologetic support for American exceptionalism, that America is a force for good in the world and the military as such. Specifically, he said he'd stand by our allies in Israel and stand up to our enemies, folks like Iran. And he did talk about staving off the deep defense cuts that are looming with sequestration. I also think he's the type of person that would want to reform a bloated Pentagon bureaucracy as opposed to just cut it across the board.
And regarding that, there's a new ad out from the folks at Special Operations for America. Here's a piece. I want to get your reaction. Wait for it. It's really good. Here it is, I think.
We bleed not because we want to. We fight because we need to. And sometimes we die because we love this country. I believe in American exceptionalism. As a Navy SEAL, I fought so that I would never have to see my president bow to anyone.
The image there of the bow, a very powerful one, but specifically in terms of actions the president has taken, do you believe he has bowed to other nations?
Well, hey, it's pretty clear in this cycle that the SEALs are ticked off. And I think ticked off when they don't feel like they've got the kind of leadership they want or need at the top. I think the lead from behind mentality is one they're pretty frustrated with, especially with all the big issues we face in the world, the threats we face in the world. You know, and it's not just overseas from terrorism and looming threats like China and Moscow, but it's our debt crisis, spending crisis here that will ultimately cripple our military as well. So these SEALs are saying, hey, we're not seeing the kind of leadership we want and need, and I think, you know, bowing or being apologetic doesn't get it done.
And to clarify, that ad was from former Navy SEAL Ryan Zinke. But in terms of handling of the military, in terms of our national defense, Lieutenant Colonel Tony Shaffer joined us earlier on. He said that he believes Romney would be different from Obama in that he would pay special attention to listening to what his commanders are saying. Do you think that would be a departure from the current administration?
Well, you know, I think that's a good point. I mean, our commanders in Afghanistan asked for 60,000 troops. They got 30, and they got a 2014 deadline at the same time that told our enemy when they're going to leave. I would like to think that our commander-in-chief would listen more to what our commanders need in order to execute the mission. So that would hopefully be a change. We always want to be listening to our commanders on the ground and taking their consideration.
Pete Hegseth from Concerned Veterans for America, thanks for being here.
Thank you.